Hello, angels. Thank you for joining me again on Johnny's Angels YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe this video. If you don't like my review, then you can dislike the video. But just help a sister out. Like, subscribe, and share. Pretty please. Thank you again, though. Thank you for even clicking on my video. I just want to say that, get that out of the way. I'm really enjoying getting my Alicia Keys on, fresh face. I do like my makeup though. I'm not one of those people who completely oppose makeup because I will, do that thing when I get ready to go out somewhere. But I had to get on the tube today and talk about my new favorite TV show. And it is BET Presents The Encore, created by that good old Carlos King. Carlos King is an absolute genius. For those of you who aren't familiar with Carlos King, some of his most recent work is Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is also one of my guilty pleasures. Bell Collective, which is another thing. Both of those shows are on OWN network. In the past, he had worked on The Next 15, and he also did some work with the Housewives, in particular the Atlanta Housewives. So that man is a beast out here in these reality streets, and this does not disappoint. Just to let you guys know, it comes on Wednesdays on BET, 10 Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. This is something you don't want to miss. So the overall concept of this show is that it's pulling ladies from the 90s and the early 2000s who were in girl groups and putting them together in one house for them to make a hit record. And baby, when I tell you, this has all kinds of little gems in it. Me and my girlfriends last night, every time it went on commercial, we were like having our own little conference chat every time the commercial came on. Then when the commercial would end, we would be like, all right, call you back on the next commercial. Like, we literally thoroughly enjoyed this show. The cast on the show consisted of Keely from 3LW. We know her as the one who kind of went behind the scenes, who, because Notori does Power, and what's her name? Adrian does The Real, and Keely kind of just went behind the scenes to work on doing her family. She also is famously, mocked for her heavy tongue and her lisp, promises. So she was on there. You had Pam from Total. Pam adds a nice balance. At first I was a little confused because I'm like, okay, but she does add a nice balance. So Pam from Total, Pam was like more of the wild one, and now she's like this reformed Christian who's in this house with like all these extroverts. So that's an interesting mix. I'm looking at my notes too because I don't want to miss anybody. We got Aubrey O'Day from That Good Old Danity Kane. We already know she knows how this reality girl group thing goes. And she, of course, was being Aubrey, being extra, trying to be the leader, all that extra stuff. She's actually the only white person in the house too, so that should be interesting to see how that works out. Not that it matters, but we know, especially in the climate that we're in, something is bound to happen. She was, dating Trump's son. So I'm sure at some point somebody will get into it with her about her personal life choices. We have also got my fave, okay? I've always loved Nivea. But last night, redefined my love for Miss Nivea. Nivea got out, because everybody arrived and they got out of like a Escalade or some black truck, and they did a walk while they were doing like a monologue or a voiceover from a confessional or something as they were walking into the mansion. And Nivea got the car and like almost fell. Her behind stumbled. She was a total mood while they were arguing. She was like, what are rice cakes? What are rice cakes? So Nivea is a good wild card for the show for them to add Nivea to the show. Nivea was not in a girl group. Nivea definitely was a solo artist. But she was a great addition. Like, I can't imagine this show without Miss Nivea. I'm so glad. Let me pause here too before I name the rest of the people. I'm so glad that it's not one of those elimination shows, because I'm telling you, if they had ever eliminated Nivea, half the viewership probably would be gone, because she is carrying the girls. You also have the sisters from 702, Irish and Lamisha. So those ladies, I'm glad to see them. I'm glad to see they're doing well. I did not know Irish was a twin, so that's interesting. I did remember that there were 4 members in the group when they first came out. I want to say, because I was super young when this song came out, but I have older sisters, so I remember the song they did with Subway. I might not even have the right title, but play the little game we play. You go high and I will seek. Let me be the one to make you weak. That song. Okay, so I vaguely remember like 4 members, at that time. And so basically, Irish was explaining that was her twin, and her twin actually died when they were like 27. So like after they got out of the singing game, because Irish, I Googled, and she's 41 now. So after they kind of, got from out of the spotlight, their sister, her twin sister, their sister, passed away. So that was heartbreaking to hear. However, you can tell them sisters ain't had no singing lessons in a minute. They ain't even sung as a sport. Like, I don't think they sing cleaning up. Cracking, shaky. I'm like, whoa. But you can tell something's there as they work with the voice coach. Hopefully we hear and see something else. Lamisha's goal on the show is to show that she could have been a lead singer, because as we know, the other girl, God, I can't remember her name, but she's Music Soul Child baby mama. God, and I know her name because she did branch off and do solo. So if you know her name, please drop it in the chat. I don't have time to look it up, but she always did the lead. She was the darker one of the group. So she definitely stood out. And so she kind of like Notori in, 3LW. And for some reason at that time, I guess the recipe was to have light-skinned chicks and one dark-skinned girl. But at any rate, she wanted to show that she could have also did lead, and that particular girl had always done the lead. So that's one of the things Lamisha wants to show forth. Irish wants to do this for her sister, or her twin sister. She wants to make sure that, she continues to chase her dream and not give up on singing. It was definitely refreshing to see them, though, no matter how bad and cracky and shaky their voices were. So, yeah. And speaking of that, when they were singing, just to kind of recap before I name the rest of these people, Keely was all right. It wasn't great, but it wasn't the best. It was very average. I feel like you can go to any local karaoke bar and hear that voice. But to Keely's point, Keely came in the house saying that she was not trying to be a part of the group. She was more on the creative side. It seems like she knows her role. However, she definitely can keep up with that choreo. That choreography, she definitely could. And we also know Keely was a cheetah girl. So Keely definitely knows choreography very well. Pam definitely was nice. Raspy voice, nice. It was refreshing to hear her still sing. Aubrey doing too goddamn much, okay? She wanted to do the runs and be more soulful than the Soul Sisters. It was just like, okay, but you cannot deny Aubrey can sing. She's good for TV, so we know why she's there. Nivea was singing her behind off. She might have seemed a little tipsy in the other scenes, but in this scene, Nivea definitely was singing her behind off. She did pretty decent. Irish and Lamisha of 702. And that's all I'm gonna say. The other people who joined the show was Shamari from Black with a Q. Okay, boom like an 808, bring it on, bring it all to me. The movie Bring It On. Also, Real Housewives of Atlanta, maybe what, season 11? Yeah, was it 11? Yeah, season 11, because this was season 13. Which I do think she should have been back, but whatever. At the end of the day, Shamari, we already knew Shamari still was up on her game. She had showed us that she could sing on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Baby girl was doing the damn thing. She do her choreography great. Great addition to the show. Very professional. Love me some Shamari. Now let's get to these cherished sisters. I don't even know their name. Okay, I just remember them. Do it, do it, do it, do it. They really came in hot and just unlikable, which adds some spice to the show. Everybody can't be friends, so definitely needed that on the show. However, I'm not sure if they are aware of what they're doing to themselves or to their brand per se. They wanted to come in all braggadocious about who they've written for, which was great. They have written for Chris Brown, you know, songs like that. They've written some things that are currently on the radio, so that is totally awesome. But they were shading people like Pam and 702 and acting like they just these young hot spring chickens. Googled them, they're 33. 33 is still young. I'm 34. I mean, I don't consider myself to be ancient, but I also am not walking around here acting like Aubrey O'Day and Shamari and all these people are old. Like, man, almost all the people in the house is in their 30s. I mean, Nivea is 39 from what I Googled. Keely and I are the same age, so she's 34. You got Aubrey, who's like 37. You got now the only person we know that's the oldest person in the house is Pam. I'm not sure how old Pam is. I'm assuming she's like pushing 50, which is still great. Irish and Shamari are 41. Lamisha's 43. So I mean, it's not like you get in a house with a whole bunch of grandmas. For the most part, a few of the people I named are in their 30s. Keely, Aubrey, and Nivea are in their 30s, and the Cherish twins are in their 30s. So I don't know why they want to make it sound like it was a geriatric thing when they only really had like 2 hits. And my best friend last night had to remind me of the second one. And I would be of their era when their music was hot. I can't say they made much money off of Do It, because that was during the time when people was going on LimeWire and stealing music. Because I know I definitely had a good old CD that I had stripped Do It and put it on there. But I never bought their album. So how dare you walk in there and shade the likes of Total and 702. And you were supposed to be so intertwined in this music industry, but you don't know who these people are. Now, yes, 702 has aged since the last time we saw them, but Lamisha, to me, has a distinct look. If I would see her shopping in a grocery store right now, I would know exactly who she was before even seeing her on the Encore. So I am just kind of taken aback that they chose to come on the show this way. But I guess they want to do it so they can be memorable because they are the least known people on the group on the show. Like, in all honesty, I'm not trying to be shady. They are the least known, the least accomplished. They were trying to be shady toward Keely and saying that what does she have to qualify her to be on the creative side. I don't know if people just ignorantly forget, but Keely after 3LW, she was a cheetah girl. Okay? Them Disney checks don't stop. Okay? Them Disney checks come good on the regular. Okay? While the Cherish girls were in the house trying to flaunt and flodge and say, well, my sister just found out she became a millionaire today. You didn't realize that all these efforts in here got millions? Been had millions? Nivea, let's talk about money right now. Nivea alone, okay, don't have to sing not one note. Probably ain't never have to even release a record. Her baby daddies alone put her in the $1 million circle. Okay? 3 kids with the dream, 1 with Lil Wayne. Like, yeah, sit y'all behind down. I don't even know their names, and I didn't even take the time to Google their names. I know they said their names on the show. But I was really offended for them to be as close in age as they are to me. Hell, we same age. Hell, they probably turned 34 since the show aired. I don't know. But, well, since they shot the show, I don't know. But my point in saying all this is that I'm glad they're on the show. They add a healthy balance. We do need villains on these reality shows. So I'm glad that they are there. But the shadiness off Rip, calling them old, was very much tacky. I got 18-year-old nieces who think I'm old and I'm 34. So just for the same people that you calling old, there's somebody out there thinking you old. And if you out here thinking that you finna draw, or I mean, who do you think your fan base is? Let's just be clear. Let's stop here. Because my 18-year-old nieces know nothing of Cherish. Nothing. But they can sing Boom Like an 808 because they've heard it. You know, they can sing Where My Girl's At by 702 because they've heard it repetitively on these old school stations. I don't know who's playing Do It. Like, it's not current, so it wouldn't be on your local R&B hip hop station right now. And then it's not considered to be necessarily old school for real as to where it would be on, you know, the adult contemporary kind of like station. So they need to humble themselves real quick. I mean, they can sing. They did sound pretty good, but the singing that they did not back up, you know, the arrogance. But we shall see. This is going to be a good show. I really feel like Carlos King did the damn thing. I think him mixing these different personalities in the group was great. They actually went to the studio last night and they were talking about what kind of song they would do. Everybody was on a different page. Pam let it be known that she is born again and she is not trying to sing about sex. The 702 sisters were like, yeah, we have husbands. We not trying to be out here to be all sexy. I did agree with the Cherish twins on the fact that they wanted to kind of be a little sexy. But Shamara made the most sense. She was like, yeah, I got a husband, but if I sing about something sexy, when I'm singing and I'm thinking about my husband. So I'm not sure what direction they're going in. Nivea just was like, let's record. She also had her eye on another man too. She was looking at the producer that was in there, that she liked him. So I just love Nivea on this show. I cannot wait till next Wednesday to capture this. I just really wish BET would recognize, though, this is the only fault that I have. 10 o'clock a little late for me. I'm a little old. 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. I mean, I'm going to stay up now. Like, I'm going to stay up and make sure I watch it because I'm going to be there at 10. But y'all couldn't put it on about 8, 9. 9 is about the limit because 10, I be wanting to, you know, lay down and go to bed or watch something that I don't really care about 10 o'clock. I care about this show. So I want to be attentive from the beginning to the end. So hopefully as this show takes off, BET decides, okay, we're going to move this closer to the front. But good show. This is the reality TV show that reality TV was missing. It seemed genuine. It seemed real. It seemed raw. I'm sure they put them in certain situations. I'm sure that's why they chose certain personalities to be in the group, which is what reality TV is. However, it definitely did not seem scripted. It seemed like these were these people. These were their personalities. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I miss those making the band type shows. Those, you know, what was that show called that they had all the celebrities in the house in VH1? God, I can't remember, but it was a show where all the celebrities were in the house, which is where Flavor Flav met Bridget, and they kind of like fell in love, and then they took off and had their own show about being in love, and then that took off, and you came out with Flavor of Love. So like, this show kind of also it allows us to get to know these women, because at the time when these women were in these girl groups, except for Aubrey, but you got to know them through music videos, through interviews. You didn't really see who they were outside of performance mode. This kind of gives you an insight as to who they are. And after the show wraps, if they don't give Nivea her own damn show, I'm creating not a GoFundMe, a petition. One of those change.orgs, okay? Because Nivea needs her own show at some point. But I look forward to seeing where the show goes. I look forward to seeing this season after season, to see who comes back, who they add. I look forward to seeing what song they created. This was definitely something that we needed as a culture, to kind of get back to regular reality TV and not all of this BS that we are creating stories so people can continue to watch the show, or because these contrived and made up storylines are for the birds. This was something good, fun TV. Not all of that heavy negativity. Yeah, they had some little spats, but what is reality TV without spats? You have to have that curveball. You have to have that villain, so to speak, which in this case is the Cherish sisters. And it looks like Aubrey is going to be turned into a villain too, which she was a villain on making the band. You know, she came from that era of, you know, the girl groups being on a reality TV show. So saying that all to say is that Carlos King, you are a genius, man, okay? And you need to hit me up because I need my own reality show, because there's too many things that keep happening to me in my everyday life that I'm like, where are the cameras? I stare into the imaginary camera all the time, like, but at any rate, if you're watching this, put your reminder on, tune in on Wednesdays on BET, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, to BET Presents the Encore. Again, it is girl groups galore, great TV, just something that just makes you feel good all over to watch. Just because you're kind of reminiscing about these people that you met so many years ago. So thank you guys for joining Johnny's Angels page on the YouTube. Please like and subscribe this video, share, drop some angels in the chat. I love you, my angels. Until next time, I will be back.